World villains. There are people whom history has judged fairly, but there are others whom history has not judged fairly. These quotes are for the villains judged by history, but they are hopeful in our judgment. So, is history honest, or do you have another opinion? Genghis Khan, Great Khan of the Mongol Empire. Genghis Khan was born around 1162 in Mongolia. When he was still a teenager, he and his family were forced out of their home and on the run from enemies from another tribe, who wanted revenge for an earlier dispute between Genghis' father and uncle over who should be chief of their clan. They fled to China where they were taken in by a friendly Mongol warlord. Genghis grew up among this new tribe with whom he learned the skills that would make him so successful as a leader: intelligence gathering, discipline, war strategy, and determination. He eventually became chieftain when his uncle died of old age. Genghis Khan founded the Mongol Empire, which became the largest contiguous empire in history after his death. 4 million to 60 million people are estimated to have died in Genghis Khan's military campaigns. Genghis Khan's famous quotes: "The greatest happiness is to scatter your enemy and drive him before you. To see his cities reduced to ashes. To see those who love him shrouded and in tears. And to gather to your bosom his wives and daughters." Not even a mighty warrior can break a frail arrow when it is multiplied and supported by its fellows. As long as you brothers support one another and render assistance to one another, your enemies can never gain the victory over you. But if you fall away from each other, your enemy can break you like frail arrows, one at a time. If you had not committed great sins, God would not have sent a punishment like me upon you. I hate luxury. I exercise moderation. It will be easy to forget your vision and purpose when you have fine clothes, fast horses and beautiful women. In which case, you will be no better than a slave, and you will surely lose everything. If you're afraid, don't do it. If you're doing it, don't be afraid. The strength of a wall is neither greater nor less than the courage of the men who defend it. Remember, you have no companions but your shadow. An action committed in anger is an action doomed to failure. Man's highest joy is in victory. To conquer one's enemies, to pursue them, to deprive them of their possessions, to make their beloved weep, to ride on their horses, and to embrace their wives and daughters. Come and sip from the cup of destruction. O people, know that you have committed great sins. If you ask me what proof I have for these words, I say it is because I am the punishment of God. If you had not committed great sins, God would not have sent a punishment like me upon you. It is not sufficient that I succeed, all others must fail. A leader can never be happy until his people are happy. All who surrender will be spared. Whoever does not surrender but opposes with struggle and dissension, shall be annihilated. Conquering the world on horseback is easy. It is dismounting and governing that is hard. Heaven grew weary of the excessive pride and luxury of China. I am from the barbaric north. I wear the same clothing and eat the same food as the cowherds and horseherders. We make the same sacrifices and we share our riches. I look upon the nation as a newborn child, and I care for my soldiers as though they were my brothers. There is no good in anything until it is finished. If unable to abstain from drinking, a man may get drunk 3 times a month. If he does it more than 3 times, he is culpable. If he gets drunk twice a month, it is better. If once a month, this is still more laudable. And if one does not drink at all, what can be better? But where can I find such a man? If such a man were found, he would be worthy of the highest esteem. With heaven's aid I have conquered for you a huge empire. But my life was too short to achieve the conquest of the world. That task is left for you. Even when a friend does something you do not like, he continues to be your friend. Be of one mind and one faith, that you may conquer your enemies and lead long and happy lives. One arrow alone can be easily broken, but many arrows are indestructible. Just as God gave different fingers to the hand, so has He given different ways to men. The merit in action lies in finishing it to the end. I am the punishment of God. If you have not committed sins, then God wouldn't have sent me. If my body dies, let my body die, but do not let my country die. Man's greatest joy is to slay his enemy, plunder his riches, ride his steeds, see the tears of his loved ones and embrace his women. People conquered on different sides of the lake should be ruled on different sides of the lake. One of the joys of travel is visiting new towns and meeting new people. The strength of walls depends on the courage of those who guard them. The pleasure and joy of man lies in treading down the rebel and conquering the enemy, in tearing him up by the root, in taking from him all that he has. A man's greatest work is to break his enemies, to drive them before him, to take from them all the things that have been theirs, to hear the weeping of those who cherished them, to take their horses between his knees and to press in his arms the most desirable of their women. Those who were adept and brave fellows, I have made military commanders. Those who were quick and nimble I have made herders of horses. Those who were not adept I have given a small whip and sent to be shepherds. Perhaps my children will live in stone houses and walled towns, not I. My life was too short to achieve the conquest of the whole world. Now, after history judged them to be one of the villains, you must search for their history, judge the logic of your mind, and tell us in the comments, does he deserve to be among the villains, or was the judgment of history unjust?